On June 8th, 2025, nothing special was coming through the depot. But I was still up there anyway because I was bored and I had to run uptown anyway to grab some groceries, so we decided to stay for 2 trains. The first one was what I believe is Norfolk Southern 267, with a Bean Sniffer Gevo leading, but it had a nice Union Pacific AC-44 trailing second. Now the I-191 on the CSX is rescheduled, pretty much my only hope of seeing UP is by random chance encounters on the NS like this one here. Even though it's not a rare UP unit, it's still kinda cool to see. It was a little bit of a wait for our next and final train, that being a Norfolk Southern intermodal that I don't know the symbol of with, you guessed it, a C6M duo. On June 11th, we're back at the depot to catch an NS coal train 854, because on this day it had the Interstate Heritage Unit 8105 trailing second. This was my first chance to see a Norfolk Southern Heritage Unit on anything other than an intermodal, and the Interstate Railroad was extremely associated with coal. And given that this train almost never has special units on it, I knew I wasn't going to miss the chance to see a coal hauling special on the coal train, since this is the only Norfolk Southern coal train that isn't a transfer from BNSF that runs over this line. However, we still had quite a while to wait at the depot for it, and the first train we ended up catching was this Norfolk Southern eastbound intermodal with an ace leader. It wasn't too long before the next train, yet another eastbound intermodal, this time with some GE junk for power. Now, you might have noticed that all the shots so far have been on the backlit side, and yeah, that was intentional. I decided to shoot from this side since it's way more comfortable than the other side for long waits, until we knew that 8105 was close, and then we would move sides. We still had 2 more trains that had to clear though before 8105 could, the first being the local B09, with the set it's had for the past couple of months, and it has the very nice low number -9 9760 in the lead. Then the signal turned green for a westbound. I was hoping it would be the 854 with 8105, however my good friend the LaPorte Railfan showed up and said, nope, it's 39E out of Elkhart, but it has a -9 leader. I was quite excited, my -9 luck has been great recently. This is a high numbered one, but hey, I'll take any -9. Finally, the defect detector on Laporte Railfan scanner went off, indicating that 8105 was close. We were terrified to see the headlights already there, and we hadn't even moved across the tracks yet. However, we knew that it was still pretty far away, and we decided to take the gamble and cross the tracks. Worst case scenario, we get caught at the crossing. However, we didn't get the worst case scenario, we got the best case scenario. We got across the tracks with plenty of time to spare, and I got a beautiful shot of 8105 trailing on this coal train. This is one of my favorite Heritage Unit catches. Fun fact, this is actually the first Heritage Unit I've intentionally tried to see twice. And the reason being is, this is what my original shot of 8105 looks like. Ugh. After that, I wasn't really planning to return to rail fanning for a little while, considering I just had my Elkhart trip, which you could see in the previous video. I was, a little exhausted, burnt out, and there weren't many catches that were going to drag me back to the rails. Except Norfolk Southern put their brand new D&H Heritage Unit 1080 on eastbound train 34J. Now, 34J, I normally can't track since it's an eastbound, but somebody had thankfully reported it in Riverdale, Illinois that day, so I knew it was coming. Now, the D&H Heritage Unit had come through LaPorte previously on 35J, and, as you know, the main reason I went to Elkhart was just so I could see it. However, I had gotten word that its PTC was broken, which made sense because it didn't lead 35J, or its transfer all the way from Juniata to Elkhart. However, it was leading 34J that day, meaning this was the first time that 1080 had led any train since becoming the D&H Heritage Unit. Yeah, needless to say, I was not going to miss this. So I headed to the tracks, and almost as soon as we got there, we got jump scared by NS260, which was right in front of the 34J heading east with some garbage power. I was very stressed at this moment because I still had stuff to do this day, and this rail fanning was already making me late for it. I was hoping 34J would get here soon, but 33G heading west had to first, with its usual pair of bean sniffers. You can see me shake the camera as I'm worried that 34J is right behind me and about to jump scare me. It wasn't. I panned down the track extra far on the end of 33G, thinking that maybe 34J would run right beside it around the curve and I would get a cool meat shot. Yeah, that didn't happen. It was another 20-minute wait for 34J, and when it finally arrived, I was actually in the car checking its position when it arrived, so it still managed to jump scare me. And here it is with the glorious 1080 D&H Heritage Unit in the lead. Since Norfolk Southern cleans their units once every 3 eternities, I'll probably never see this unit this shiny again. Plus, this is a historic moment, being its first time leading. And, well, that's all for this video. Catch those units while you can, especially the freshly painted special ones, and I'll see you in the next video.